What's up, guys? Thanks for coming back for another recap of my day trades. It is March 11th. Uh, I'm up $348 today, so it's another green day. That's good. Looking at the SPY here, we get started. We had a really strong up day on the SPY. This is pretty um noteworthy here. This big V-shaped reversal. Um, So there's a lot of it's pretty much all buying pressure today, no selling pressure. So that shows that you know that adds to the case that we're still in a bull market, and that anyone who shorted back here in the 2 days ago is now having to buy back their shares, and they're getting pushed out, squeezed out, as they say. So zooming in here a little bit, we can see today's trading. This is a 4 hour, so each day has two candles. So we had a nice strong push up. Now we'll zoom in here on the 1 minute just to get a closer look. So pretty much straight up today, all day trading in the market. So it's a great day to take long plays. So that being said, that's where I made my money on some long plays, mostly on Tesla. I had a almost $400 win on Tesla. Um, Boeing was gapping down massively because of the news on their plane crash, and I tried to short Boeing, which is a mistake. I should have been trying to go long Boeing, and I was actually kind of in the back of my mind thinking that, but it didn't work out that way. I made a mistake on that. I lost probably $100 or so on Boeing, and I also lost a little bit of. I broke even on Facebook. I was trying to short Facebook. It was not the day for that. Um, Facebook, they didn't really move that much. They kind of moved around sideways. We'll talk about that a little more. And then I made about $80 on one penny stock that I traded. So without further ado, let's start out with my first trade. So the first trade that I took was on Tesla. I've talked about this before. Tesla, this is the 4 hour 180-day chart now I'm looking at, and they're down this area where I've talked about is a likely buy area, and we uh Friday's trading we moved up and we were trading slightly higher. Um I'll zoom in here a little bit. So we were trading slightly higher than Friday's trading coming into um today's trading, and had a long bias thinking that I wanted to buy it around here, the 280 to 285s, and look for a push up higher. So that's enough on the longer time frame. That's why I was looking at the stock. So as we can see, we opened up. I've talked about this. I've talked about this golden line, which is the previous day close. We opened up slightly under it and sold off down and to 281, 280.50 level, and then we got bought all the way back up in a V-shaped reversal up through VWAP. Let me zoom in here a little bit. So we sold off down to 280.50 and got bought up in a V reversal through VWAP and through the previous day closing price. We then sold off or retraced back down to the VWAP where we bounced off of VWAP, and we um we were we bounced around here between VWAP and the previous day closing price. And as I've said before, I don't um trying to trade in the first 15 minutes, so I actually took my long position here at 947 at 284.60, and I set my stop loss at 284. uh I set 284.60 and I set my stop loss, yeah, at 284. So I set my stop loss right below the previous day closing price. I was risking 60 cents. I went long 100 shares, and then we got this drop through the previous day closing price where I stopped out of my position. Um, so that was down $23 at that point. And then at that point I went over and traded Facebook, and I lost $19 on that trade trying to short too early. Let me finish. But I got back in here on Tesla, so I guess instead of skipping back and forth, I'll finish on Tesla here. So I got back in at about 10 o'clock at we bounced. So after I got shook out here for that $23 loss, we bounced around here, and we formed kind of a little bit of this wedge. Sorry, let me get my right drawing tool. We started forming a little bit of this wedge pattern type price movement here. We can see the price is bouncing around, but it's getting tighter and tighter. And I liked how it was staying up above the VWAP and around the previous day closing price. And I was in the back of my mind, I knew that we had more upside, and I thought it was going to bounce. So I knew I had gotten in too early, and I went long again here at 284.60. 284.63, so $1 above my last entry was 283.64. So I went long here with 100 shares, and I actually, and we got, sorry guys, I apologize. So I went long here 100 shares at 284.60, and then we got this. I went long after this red candle, so we got this big push up, and then we got this pullback down, and I went long here. And then I set my stop loss at 284 back down here on this consolidation area. And after I bought here, we got this big push all the way up here, and we started to slow down right here at 286.50. And I took some off here, but really this was a mistake. I was expecting a pullback, but I took 75 shares off, so 75%. But there was no resistance. And I'm not going to go to the other time frames right now to show you on those, but there's no resistance on any other time frame, and the only resistance here is this very low volume in pre-market. So I shouldn't have taken off there. I should have waited till up here where I actually took off the remaining 25 shares, I believe. No, sorry. So I still left 25 shares on, and then when we got this big drop red candle down here to VWAP, I added another 50 shares. So I was long 75 shares at that point. And then I rode the 75 shares all the way up and sold out at the top up here around 280.80s. I sold out of most of my shares right here at 280.80, and then here I'll just show my trades. Sorry guys, I'm trying to make these videos faster. I take too long going through these. So I sold out of 60 right here and 15 up here at the top. Now these trades I took later. I'm not gonna get into all these, but I lost about $10 and $20, so I lost about $30. But I made almost $300 on this trade. If we go to my, so see, I'm up $348. I made total $340 on Tesla, and this is all simulated trading, guys. I'm doing simulated trading for right now. Probably the next week or two, I'm gonna open my live account. But that was Tesla. So and then I took trade, and then I talked about I lost a little money on Facebook. So let's just get into that real quick. So Facebook, I tried to short right here after we had pushed up and put in, and on the longer term time frame. The reason I'm watching it is because we were testing this previous high levels of 273, and it looked like we were going to break out to the upside or drop back down. So I knew that there was room to move in either direction. So that's why I was watching this. After watching the price action, I decided I wanted to short here when we held below this previous high of day, and I got shook out and stopped out here for $20 or $19 loss. And then later in the day, we had, after we sold off, the better play here would have been to go in smaller share size. I'm sorry, guys, if I would have gone in smaller share size and then um, waited until it went against me. When you're shorting at strong stock like this, you have to sometimes size in. You can't expect you're going to get it right away. So you have to go small share size and allow yourself that room of risk, and then you can build in on your position. Uh, I'm not that intricate or sophisticated with my trading at all because I'm not knowledgeable enough. So I'm working on all this, trying to improve. Anyhow, took a bad trade in here. As we can see, guys, the volume died off on Facebook, and it was just chopping around here. This is what when a stock doesn't have high volume and it's being traded like this, bouncing around. This is mostly computers. This is high frequency trading, just moving the price action, bouncing between a range. And the computers are high frequency trading. Um, they're they're just bouncing the price a little bit higher, a little bit lower, and they're making money off their shares that way. And you just want to stay away from them when it's stocks like that. There's not enough volume. There's no retail traders there. So that was my mistake on this trade. But I made out with a $30 win on this trade. And I also took some trades on Boeing. Oh, wow. All right, so Boeing was just gapping down huge from $423 all the way down to $365. So I don't know. I think that's a 13% gap, and it made a huge move back up to $400 all the way down for 365, and I had these levels marked off. I wanted to short in these yellow levels, and I wanted to go long or cover a short position in these blue levels at the open. We got this. I was thinking about going long this whole time in here under these yellow levels, which if I had done, guys, I could have been close to $1,000 day. But instead, I was stubborn and I waited to short up in this area, and I made $100 on a short play right in here. But then I tried to short again later around here or here, and I got stopped out, and I gave back my win on this. So I should have been able to recognize all the buying pressure sooner and switch my bias and gone long. So I gotta stay unbiased, and just that's one thing I gotta try to work on is just staying unbiased in my opinion, and I'll be ready to switch on a dime on what I think the direction of the stock will go. And I need to not try to predict the price direction, but just react to the price direction. And then the one other stock that I traded was DCAR. Now, this stock had an IPO um, a little over a year ago, and this blue line was the high of the IPO on the first day, and it gapped up today tremendously. It's up over 600%, and I took a trade in here on it. This is the 4-hour chart, the long-term chart. Let's go into the 1 day. So the reason I found it came up on a stock scanner. Um, it came up on a stock scanner, and I saw it had this reversal, and it was holding these highs up here at 420, 425, and it was, and I took it long in here, and because I saw it was holding above these previous highs here at 425, and we got this push up here, and I sold out and made $90 on this trade. So it's a $350 day. Like I said, I'm I'm going back to I'm back on simulated trading right now, but if I can keep up this consistency, I'm going to be going back on live trading here soon. So I'm going to